right, welcome back to The Devil in Detail, the Grendel Reread podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Ben. It's big episode 48, and we have a change of pace treat for you today.
Skipping forward, jumping into the future. Today's brand new issue of Grendel that just hit the newsstands Wednesday.
Thanks to quarantine, it's been a whole year off on the Devil's Odyssey.
Crazy.
And thanks to Matt and Brennan for letting us have a look at this new issue with the newness. It's great.
Yeah. Grendel Devil's Odyssey, issue 5 of 8. We are so psyched. We're picking up with the Paladin. You know, we haven't even got close to where the Paladin is in our read through. I did a little math today, and I think there's 3 to 4 years worth of issues for us to cover from start to finish. And so
yeah, if we maintain a weekly schedule, which we have for almost an entire year. Before we get too crazy into it, Eli.
Yeah.
Talk about yourself. What did you do this week?
Well, my favorite topic, Ben.
Of course.
It's been a great week. Just continuing working. I finally listen. I'm sure writers and artists can attest to things like this. I finally broke. This is my Monkey Lion issue 4 script that has been in the closet for years, and I had some issues with confidence and writer's block and artist block and what to do, and I'm finally like getting it out, and like I was like, oh man, I barely have anything done, but I have the full script. I have like the first page is based off of page 1 of a Grendel issue, actually of one of the Lost Years Wiggins issues, and I have a 2-page spread. I have like pages 3, 4, 5, and 6 already done, though I may redo, but like I did them all on this like notebook paper, which probably is definitely not the best, not notebook paper, but printer paper, you know, but like I've come so far since I wrote this, and I even have this like legal pad where I made all these notes, but like I'm finally ready to jump back into it, to jump back into Monkey Lion, and it's a really good feeling. It's like a great feeling to return back to my roots, to my comic creating roots, to when I was just making comics. And like at this point in my life, you know, watching cartoonist kayfabe, knowing guys like Jim Rugg, and man, I just started watching this new YouTube channel where this artist was talking about all this stuff. I wish I could remember her name right.
Is it the French woman? She's fantastic.
Yes. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Charitaire? I don't remember her name either.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's the content that we're coming to YouTube for. Like, there's so much comic content on YouTube that is not about comics.
Right.
Like the fact that people are like, well, if we just like talk about layout and composition and storytelling and just like keep it positive and fun, people will come. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's Elsa Chartier.
Yeah,
Elsa Chartier. Great. Amazing content. And like this makes me think about all this stuff and flow, and like here I was just making my first comic, no script, no thumbnails, just, you know, and how far I've come. And I like the fact that I'm able to show so much change and growth. And I'm even thinking like of using these 5-year-old pages and then just starting new with the next pages on freaking Bristol board with all my pens and blue line and all this shit, and just, you know, notating like, you know, this book took 7 years to make. I decided not to change anything. Like here it is, warts and all. Some pages I inked over 5-year-old, whatever. So I'm excited to see what kind of package this brings, and I'm excited to get back to my like creator-owned thing. So
yeah, not just you've grown not just as a storyteller and cartoonist, but your production chops have gone through the roof. You know, every project that you've done, you're talking about like doing the fold out, and you've done foil and square bound and all this stuff. And so like between that and all your InDesign and
I know
all the creative reps you've been doing, yeah, it should be great.
I'm so excited to see like the growth and to present something that shows years of growth within one, you know, 36-page issue. So
in one page turn.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. It will literally be that. And maybe I'll even write, I don't know, you know, so I'm excited to get my like synapses firing on all this stuff, and just continuing to try to promote other creators as well through the Cartoonist Kayfabe Ringside Seats. I just launched a Friday Indie Spotlight, which is going to be a live Zoom show in the Kayfabe group with indie creators every Friday. And Ben, you signed up. I got you penciled in on the calendar for.
Well, I did. I didn't realize it was that you were hosting it. So I was like, oh, let me sign up real quick. And I was like, oh, well, I don't need to be like at the top of the list. You
No.
talk to me every week.
Well, I put you at May 21st. I got you signed up for.
Perfect.
Cool. So Ben, what about you? What you been up to, bud?
Good. I made comics this week.
Non-stop, dude.
Yeah, dude. I think I toned the first quarter of issue 2 of Arcane.
It's insane.
Came out pretty good. It's very like meditative work. It took me takes me a little while to like kind of remember. Oh yeah, that's my
Sneak
splash
peek.
page from OFW.
Oh my god.
I just sent like a pitch layout for the last 3 pages of issue 2 of Oh Fuck Why, and
Yeah,
there's
that was awesome.
28, 29 pages of pencils that are done, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah, the Oh Fuck Why crew's about to be on Ryan Balcom's Comic Lounges, son. Super soon, so look out for that, y'all. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, so everything is good. Speaking of everything being good, let's hit the intro, cover Devil's Odyssey number 5.
Two in the box, ready to go. Be fast, then be slow. Yeah. Vivat Grendel.
It's like the devil is my best friend. Hunter rose with the pen to the fork end, or till time end. Like Orion, Jupiter my kin, bloodline private. We control the whole shit. The wolf won't beef, then we feast off the rip. Behold the devil in detail. Behold the devil in detail.
All right, we're back. Another great intro. Thank you, Manus and Laserdisc. And we are right into basically the present day of canon of Grendel, as far as it goes. I did not get my floppy, my singy ishi, as Manus would say. I had to get it digital because I get my comics delivered right now, so they'll be here in a couple days. But I could not wait. 35 years of Dark Horse. I love that they got the vintage logo on there. That's pretty
nice
cool.
treatment.
Yeah.
Dark Horse.
Yeah, I love Dark Horse. I feel like that was the first indie publisher that I was like really psyched on their books, like buying the Max and buying. I actually got Dark Horse Presents a lot when I was growing up. I liked all
cool.
that. And
Right. You said the Max. You meant the Mask.
yeah, I did. I meant the Mask.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
They're so close.
Yeah, I have also had some love affair dalliances with Dark Horse. Mostly on the Goon. I feel like maybe about 15 years ago, the Goon was coming out monthly from Dark Horse, and I was like, it was like I was poor. I was like, I could buy 1 comic book a month, and I was like, why would I want to buy more than 1 comic book a month?
Right, the Goon is all I need.
Yeah, well done, Dark Horse.
Yeah.
A good home to Grendel, and for somewhat 25 years now.
It's been great. Yeah,
that's great. Before we get into this, you wanna read Matt's heartfelt editorial on the back of the issue? It's been a year off. Welcome back, friends.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we got this letter from Matt, and here we go. I'll read it here, if I may. Greetings, Grendelites. First, let me take a moment to say thanks to all of you who are picking up this issue after almost exactly a year-long suspension in publication. And holy shit, what a year it's been. I know all of us are feeling a bit shell-shocked at this point. Between a worldwide pandemic, unprecedented political thuggery, the rise of pro-violent militia factions, and corporate malfeasance on so many levels, it often feels like we're living in a world that somehow crawled its ugly way right off the pages of Grendel. For sure it did. And I, for one, Matt Wagner, sure as hell wish it would have stayed there. Still, it's when times are at their most challenging that I'm thankful for our ability to reflect, rebuke, and satirize real life through the venue of fiction. By imagining both the best and the worst possible outcomes to our ever-changing world, fiction helps us alleviate a bit of the devastating shock and awe that potentially traumatic events often threaten to deliver. Fiction is where we actualize our dreams, where we exercise our demons, and where we endeavor to make it through yet another day of life, one page at a time. I've been very lucky in that I've gotten to spend my entire professional career weaving fictions into narrative realities. I've been even luckier that readers like you care to share in those stories. With Grendel finally back on the racks of your local comic shop, here's hoping we can help stave off a bit of the more arduous aspects of our world through that entertaining, thought provoking, and unique combination of elements, words, images, color, and pizzazz that make up the special magic of our favorite medium. Grendel has not only made it through all of the social changes I mentioned, it's also managed to survive nearly 4 decades in the volatile, ever evolving comic book industry. And trust me, we're not about to quit now. We've got 4 more issues of Devil's Odyssey yet to go, and then there's an equally exciting and unexpected sequel series on deck following that. Here's hoping you can join us all for all of it. Vivat Grendel! Matt Wagner, March 2021. Hoo boy! Matt,
Thanks, Matt.
damn,
Yeah.
what a way with words he's got.
It's great to have this book in our hands. I think
Oh
this
my
is
God.
the first in-print announcement of the sequel series, which is
That's
yet
true.
unnamed sequel series. That's great.
Yes,
I think
but been
that,
announced on our show before.
Yeah, that's true. Our show's not in print though. There's no NFT
No.
on this show, baby.
Not yet.
Not yet. NFT's coming. That's our announcement. NFT's coming
NFT's coming.
soon.
The theme song from then we got to pay Madison Laserdisc. Never mind.
Oh, damn it. There's a really interesting like thematic tie between this editorial and the content of the issue that we'll get into, I'm sure. This is the 5th issue. It's been a year off. The great thing about this series is that it's super self-contained.
Very yeah.
Grendel Prime stuff is very like pulpy and what's the word? Picard-esque, like very bouncing from one adventure to the next. Very
For
like
sure.
Gulliver's Travels.
And planet hopping too. You know, we're seeing
Yeah.
all these different planets. We're getting the best of all of these worlds that we love as readers and Matt loves as a writer and even as a reader and a consumer of fiction.
Yeah. So it's super self-contained. Here's the mission summary. As the years pass, which I thought was great, a year has passed, and so too have years. Grendel Prime and the android Sigma 7 continue their search for a suitable new planet for humanity's rebirth, leading them to visit various worlds that show signs of life. But will the alien life forms that inhabit these wildly varied planets prove to be suitable to coexist with humanity? It's almost like a Goldilocks situation. Oh, these aliens are to this world is to that. So let's dive into it.
But this planet is just right. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an amazing variant cover by Ben Stenbeck. At first, I was like searching to tag him in the Instagram post, and I kept writing Steinbeck, and I was only getting John Steinbeck, and I was like, wait a second, what? And then I realized, no I.
No I, Ben
INT.
Stenbeck.
Amazing. And of course, Brennan does these beautiful, beautiful colors, man. If you're not following him on Facebook or Instagram to see like the evolution from line work to color work, you're like missing a part of like the amazing work that Brennan does. It's so sick. All right.
For sure.
What's cool about this being a brand new comic? I bought it on Comixology. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and then Ben and I are going to go through it that way, thus saving me a ton of editing time. Zanky.
We open up in the satellite space on a new planet. The enormous Grendel ship is floating in a field of satellites.
Yes, and confirmed by Matt, it is very dick-like.
You don't need Matt to confirm that. It's a dick, and those are the balls.
It's
great.
Earth's dick, and with Earth's dick, it's putting its BDE, to use the parlance of our times, out into the universe in order to find a new place to live.
That's great. So they're floating in a world that seems to be it's turned on from space. We can see all the apocalyptic, fire pits and city lights and satellites.
Space is littered.
Sounds good. Looks good. This could be the place.
It could be. This
Yeah.
might be the place. And an amazing spread here where they're trying to like, they're looking at it, but they see that they're all dead, dormant, drifting in ready mode. Like they're like, we can't confirm that there's any life on the planet below. But then
Yeah.
red alert, immediate red alert, incoming ballistic attack.
The design on this page, just like on all of them, is great. That it's it's playing with the double page spread. You've got that long horizontal across.
Right.
And then
Which takes you from this analyzation of the surroundings to the beep, beep, beep. Like that flow goes right into that beep, beep, beep. That girl's got me, or that artist from YouTube's got me thinking so much more about page flow.
Yeah. The figure doing the breaks at the head and hands, the 3 panels that overlap the extra wide space thing, the diagonal lines of the missiles that cross over the threshold of the page break.
Absolutely.
All really. What did Brennan call it? The semi splashes, the panel double page spreads.
Exactly.
Whatever you want to call them.
And you really see how there's like the Grendel eyes on the top of the ship there too,
that's
with
right.
the line. That's so cool, like a racing stripe almost.
Exactly.
So cool.
One thing that I thought was funny was how when you look at the ship from the exterior, its scale does not, it's not as big on the outside as it is on the inside, because when they're standing on the bridge, it's just like enormous.
Oh, right.
The windshield is huge.
It's huge, yeah. All right, so they're like, we're getting it, and then they're like, we're gonna have to evade. Let's do, evasion pattern Alpha Gamma C. I got my Star Trek stuff going on, so they're trying to evade it. Like, we're able to evade this, but then if we're trying to get to the planet, our landing shuttle, there's no way that it can take this barrage. Like we can, our shields can handle it. Not a big deal, but
we've been thirsty for Grendel tech and devices in Hunter Rose and Christine Spar, and with the Paladin here, that's all we get. It's an endless barrage of tech and gizmos and cyborg parts, and
love it.
Here come the solar sails.
Love it, man. This
and
is
the
such
deep
an
space helmet.
Yes, and there was a cover of this a few issues ago too. It's been a minute, but so now they're like, there's no shuttle, but you're basically a robot, so we'll just shoot you out into space. You can launch.
Yeah, and it's so advanced on the ground that you'll find some way to get back. Guaranteed. Exactly. That's like, all right.
There's gonna be rockets. Yeah. There's got to be a way to get all these satellites out with ease.
I've always the Paladin's design has always been kind of like menacing and scary. I like how the solar sail cape is like attached with like punk rock like jacket studs across the neckline.
Love it. Yes, I love it. And the spikes, like there's that one like statue, or is it like a Simon Bisley cover where he's all like, it's all coming out.
Oh, I'm sure there's a statue that
such a sick statue.
I'm sure shipping and when I was a retailer, unpacking the statues for display was the worst part of my job, because it was just like you were just gonna break. I think it was one of those, handling the statues was one of those jobs, Eli, where if you do it wrong enough times, they won't ask you to do it again.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. The break it, you buy it doesn't include your employee discount.
My substantial employee discount. Yeah.
All right. So the Paladin's like, yo, solar sails. I'm about to, he gets shot out here with a shint, and he's up and he's like, oh, he's got his gun to fire away at any missiles. So sick. And he's fluttering down into the stuff. And the robot's like, good luck, Paladin.
Good luck, Paladin.
So he's man, this would be such a cool like Grendel video game. There'd be so much fun stuff to do with this whole spread. Like, going down in space, shooting, you got your like asteroid Space Invaders type stuff going on here, firing away at satellites and all this stuff would be so cool.
Yeah, well, every issue that the Paladin's ever been in is super Pulp Fiction-y, like from one frying pan to the next.
Oh yeah.
It said there's a panel here that I enjoy that it indicates that the floating on the solar sails from ship into atmosphere took 6 days.
Right.
I was like, okay, like if you, all right.
All right.
I'm not sure if I'm reading that properly.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like, yes, you're caught in the planet's gravity, entering the stratosphere. Excellent. It only took 6 days. Maybe that's because he needed to like get into like a geosynchronous orbit or something with the speed, and then in order to come in.
I took it to just mean that like if you're doing this like in your bondage suit and nothing else, the scale of that travel it's going to take a long time, and I'll take your word for it.
That's true. And like, they're still, I mean, they're not like right up, on the planet either. They're like a couple 100 miles away in order to be outside the field of all the shit, of all the.
Yeah, I mean, you're the
orbits.
spaceman. I'm just a cartoonist.
So yes,
they
were outside. They were like maybe a light year outside geosynchronous orbit. So then the Paladin had to fly in using his solar sails, and it only took the trip took 6 days.
As I was reading this, I thought of you in that this could be a Lieutenant Worf series, just
sick.
as easily as it could be a Grendel.
That'd be so sick,
a
dude.
Grendel series.
The long rumored Captain Worf series.
Oh, really?
That'd be sick. Yeah.
I looked up. I was talking about Worf, and he had to sit in like 8 hours of makeup every day for 15 years.
It's insane.
And then I looked up how much he got paid for that. It was slightly higher than what
the normal guys had to.
Than what Frakes made or whatever.
Frakes, all he did is just sit in chairs. Well,
get his hair blown out. Okay, cool. I wanted to give Brennan. I enjoyed Brennan's lighting treatment on the Paladin here as he lands, because there's like some lens flares, but it's like handmade lens flares. Some very light horizontal white lines in there.
Yeah, I love this, man. This entry, this panel with him flying like down. Oh my God. And then, they're like, okay, now they're introducing something we didn't know about. He's got like a vibromagnetic field that's going to absorb 99.7% of the meteoric impact energy. And he just lands, where we're always talking about the docks. He's like, back to the docks.
Grendel, to the docks.
Grendel is always action on the docks. He's like, he lands good. He's a bit rattled, and now he's about to investigate.
Yeah, the thing that I like about, okay, let me just be transparent in that I do not remember what happened in the first 4 issues of the series at all.
Well, he went to different planets. Like there was a mushroom.
Well, I remember
planet.
that.
There was
I remember that part.
Yeah.
I remember there's a okay. But my takeaway about the character is that he has humanity, and he has concern, and he has loyalty and honor.
Right.
And it's sort of like finding his humanity amongst like the cybernetic superpowered omnipotence is sort of the thing that I enjoy about this character.
Yeah, but he's still completely bound by his allegiance to the Grendel Khan, even though the Khan that exists now is neither Orion or Jupiter. It's like the next Jupiter's son, I believe, and he's kind of.
Do you remember what the pal was he in deep freeze between the last time we saw him in the first issue, or did they bring him back from the gladiator pits? I have no idea where he was, but it was a brand new Khan.
Yeah, I can't remember that either.
Earth is on the precipice,
right?
And they're like, "We need you," and he's like, "Where's the ship, baby?"
Yeah, let's go.
That's what I recall. Anyway, so speaking of baller Paladin tech, he brings out the whatever they are, the comm spikes, the floating apparatus. He glides on them.
Yeah, his glider function. Yeah, so he heads in. Killer! Look at this spread. Oh my God, that's amazing.
This reminded me a lot of Guy Davis.
Oh yeah.
Of like what Guy Davis and oh God, who's Dave Stewart would do in like a VPRD book. I know that those are both creators somewhat near to the Wagners, and so it made sense to me. But it really reminded me of like how those two would handle this in like a BPRD scenario.
They're always always was talking about Dave Stewart, and I didn't realize he did colors on Silver Surfer Black. I was recently reading it again, and
Oh,
it's
cool.
like, those colors are insane. Like another shout out, Dave Stewart. Good stuff.
Should I read Silver Surfer Black? That would be my first Donny Cates comic.
Yeah, Donny Cates, Track
Yes.
Moore, Dave Stewart. Absolutely,
Yes.
it's insane. Get the big treasury. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful work.
I'll see. I don't know if I can smuggle it into the house, but
I'll
might be
send
too
you a
big.
copy.
No problem.
It's a bedtime story to read.
Yeah, well,
All
we
right.
did it. We busted out some Tintin.
Oh, nice.
She did not enjoy it.
Oh my god, that video you sent me where they were like, "Oh, talk, you're being so cute," and she's like, "Good, good, good, good," and they're like, "Oh, it's so cute." Good, good. Right at the end, it was like amazing. I laughed so hard. All right, anyway, so the paladin's coming in.
Speaking of things that'll make you laugh so hard, this world is seemingly it's automated, but there's no life forms.
Right, and it's basically like city. The entire globe is city, and,
Right.
and everything is like locked in to the routine, to the rat race. It's like this world was so set on its rat race that even when there's no people, it's like everything's automated, and the race continues.
Yeah, it reminded me. I mentioned Darkseid's Homeworld Apocalypse
Yeah,
earlier, which I think is too extreme a comparison, except for the fact that it's completely covered in that tech. There's no like hell pits and war machine here, but the entire planet is covered. And then the setup reminds me of WALL-E, the Pixar movie.
oh yeah,
A little bit.
yeah. What a great film.
Go figure.
All right, so we continue. The paladin finds his way to the ground with a thuduk, and he's like,
classic paladin pose. Look at the beautiful motion on the shoulder spikes. That looks great.
So good. And then he's like, all right, time to look around, time to see what's going. Like the concourse seems empty, but it's like there's still like a bustle. There's street sweepers. There's still things going on. And sorry, what's the robot's name again?
Sigma 7.
Sigma, yeah, Sigma
Siggy.
7. All right.
And what
Siggy,
kind
yes.
of what were you reminded of in this dynamic? I was thinking of Han and 3PO or
Right.
or Scott Bakula and Dean Stockwell. What's his name?
Oh yeah, Ziggy.
Ziggy.
Oh, so maybe it is. Maybe it is
Maybe
like
it's
a
a nod to
little.
Ziggy.
Oh, nice! You
I don't
cracked
know.
it, Ben. Oh, that's great.
What a
That's
show.
great.
I
There
would
was-
read a Matt Wagner. Matt, if you're
Quantum Leap
listening, I would read a Quantum Leap Matt Wagner book for days. If you wanted
Days.
to like leave the creator own stuff behind and do Quantum Leap, I would be there for it.
Maybe that's the next book.
That would be
Every
great.
day, the paladin just wants to find his way home. He's hoping that his next leap is the leap home.
That's basically what this book is. So he finds all these six-fingered mummies in the
Yeah,
streets.
it's
Oh, they're
crazy.
horrible.
Well, Siggy's like, you're not seeing any bodies. He's like, oh no, there's bodies everywhere. But it's like these
They've just
street
been
sweepers-
Roomba'd. They've been Roomba'd off the highway. you
Yeah,
know?
it's insane. And he's like, there's some unseen killer. We're gonna have to continue to look.
Look at the way that Brennan is coloring inside of the Prismacolor is great because there's green and
I
purple.
noticed that. Yeah.
It's just
really
like I love it. It's great.
Yeah, and it's kind of like this there is sun and there is like daylight, but it's still like smoggy and hazy, and it's got
Yeah.
that weird like color, and so that is reflecting off this like shiny leather of the paladin, and it's
Sure. Looking good.
all right. So and then here we get this amazing flashback. Our first.
Yeah. What's the text? What's the audio bridge to this flashback? Can you go back one? Or I could have done it. He
It
says,
says there's an
the unseen killer. Turn the page.
Yeah.
Dandelions. That's a great transition.
Love it. Yeah, and so we see Jupiter here, kind of like looking around. They're in their war child phase.
Yeah, and this is early in War Child because not to spoil the next patron, but they're in the bike with the cab seat.
Right.
This is the wrong trade. But that I feel like they're only in that for the first 40
Right.
pages of this max. They get rid of it.
Pretty
Something
quick.
happens. Then yeah.
Well, I think isn't it like they're like, oh, they know this bike's signature now, so they duck it away.
I just don't remember
Yeah, it's been a while.
anything. Yeah,
Been a while.
Jupiter sees these pretty flowers. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
a shade of his childhood still trying to come through in this war-torn time, and he's like, "Dude, wait, no, step back." And I gotta admit that before we didn't see it because we didn't know, but this looks very much like a young Brennan that we saw in Mage,
Like Hugo.
a young Hugo. Yeah,
Yeah, sure. I really enjoy the composition of the main panel in the semi splash because the Jupiter's this high angle, and Jupiter is standing like at the top of this like pyramid grid minefield
yeah.
of these these menacing flowers. All right.
Exactly. Very much mindful. It was like, no, hold on. Always, we're entering the Kentucky zone. It's a wild and treacherous area. And then it's like, and I love this like lesson that the paladin is teaching him. He's still like built for war. And so he's like, take our rabbit, take this bunny here that we were going to eat and throw it into the dandelions.
Yeah.
Let's just
we'll be at half rations, but the lesson will be worth it.
Exactly.
All right.
So Jupiter throws it and shreds. Oh my gosh. Shicks it to pieces.
I like that when it's activated, the bulb at the top of it turns red. It goes from yellow to red.
Oh yeah.
When it's in kill mode.
Oh yeah, death time.
Fun little touch.
Yep. And so so he's like, look, these are traps. You got to look at your surroundings at all times and never take anything at first glance.
Yeah, I really enjoy like the humanity of Jupiter here.
Very
My
much
father
so.
always told me I was the safest boy in the world, and now that he's gone, I know that I'm learning the harsh realities of the world thanks to you, knight errant cyborg Grendel.
Especially where you least expect it, and they go cruising off in the super badass.
Yeah, so this is the second flashback, I believe. Susan is in the previous issue.
Oh, that's right.
Either in a flashback or in real time. I don't recall.
Yeah, I think it must have been flashback.
So it's really great to get to see this team deal with these characters. I've spent so much time whining and moaning about how I would love to see Brennan go back and color these 25-year-old comics.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that, how realistic a scenario is that? But this gives us the opportunity not only to see him do that, but to see Matt.
Like where Matt's at now, going back.
Yeah, to see Matt draw the skiff, is awesome.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're back in with Siggy, and he's talking about the local populace, most of their time logged into like amusements. And so it's definitely kind of a reflection of our lives where we are now. We're constantly plugged in, and even especially where we were during quarantine, where we're all seeing our friends through screens. We're all connected and getting all of our amusements.
Yeah.
Through
and even
the
when
stream.
we're connected, it's like we've all been in social scenarios outside of quarantine where we're all just on our phones anyway.
Right.
And we might even be communicating with each other, but we're
Yeah.
we're doing it through the filter of what's in our feed, because that's where the conversation is coming from. Oh man, you should see this thing that's in my feed, and then we talk about it. Or like, being with family, like, I remember, I don't know, 5 years ago, I was at some family function or something, and I was like kind of chided for looking at my phone.
Right.
And now that's the new normal. Like we'll sit around and we'll do what I just described, be on the phone.
Or show photos, or, we haven't seen these people in a while. So here, look at my life through these photos,
Or like the baby will be right in front of me and I will be looking at photos of the baby on my phone.
These special moments trapped in time.
Yeah.
Versus the actual
that I've curated for others and for myself.
My enjoyment.
These are my, you're right here, but you're really cute on my phone in this moment.
Exactly. You're puking over here, and I'd rather see you when you're all shiny and cute.
The other thing that this, because I don't really want to bury all the reading experience leads on this brand new issue.
Right.
So I'd rather just kind of talk about like.
Right. And obviously, spoiler alert, and everyone needs to have this comic bought before they watch this episode.
Buy this comic.
I'm going to put that in the
yeah. Maybe a little bit of creative editing, like don't show all the pages or like block out the text or something like that.
For sure.
The other thing that's going on here is there's a lot of cybernetic implant stuff going on, and so that's another real life, where science fiction becomes reality, where transhumanism is going to be is not going to be,
It's
is
not far
another
away.
is a legislative frontier that we're only, the gender legal activism battles are the tip of the iceberg for what we're going to see in terms of legislation about whatever. Can you be an athlete? Is there going to need to be separate leagues for athletes that have bionic mental processing, physical stuff? Is there going to be, like an XFL just for people that are robot people?
Oh my God.
Mm.
That is
could be the
not
book.
far off.
That's the
man.
book. Why don't we can make that book?
And I like this little, I mean, it may or may not be a reference to the band, but it says life was a carnival.
Life is a
so,
carnival.
Life is a
It's a
carnival.
The Art Deco design on this inset, this round inset of Siggy in profile,
Right.
and he's got the beautiful teal. Is wonderful. I love it.
Yeah. And classic Matt in the style of Devil by the Deed. And he's like a computer virus. And he's like more like a cancer. So something spread like through the feed. So there was like some sort of cancer, some sort of disease type of thing that spread through the feed.
Right.
And it killed everyone.
It's sort of in an automated way, like HAL, it decided that the processing power devoted to the entertainment was more important than the life support.
Right. And as they're figuring all this out, these sentries come up and they're like, "Greetings, citizen. Standard security scanning indicates extreme anomalies within your immediate biospace." And so like now the web of technology is starting to take notice to the Paladin, and they're like, "You're not normal. You ain't one of us."
Well, there was this other thing here where Siggy said that your physical strength will be enhanced. I think maybe because because the solar radiation is ideal, I think.
Oh, interesting. Right, because he takes
like
power
that.
from that's right.
So I think that might be like, if you can do well on this planet, then that's despite the smog and the fact that there's no, parks and green spots, that like this would be great for humanity.
Right. And perhaps it's even like there's a lower gravity or higher gravity or whatever it is that allows maybe some better movement, kind of like that. Like
every planet that they've landed on has been a candidate. They're not just like, this isn't Final Frontier shit. It's like we're going specifically to these planets,
right?
Because they will work.
Right.
Yeah. And so this one could work so well that like even you're doing fine. You're getting a boost.
Yeah, and humanity has found a way to harness the power of the sun anyway. So like if the Paladin can manage this sunlight and make it more powerful, then possibly humans could harness the sun in a different way.
Who's the letterer? Dave Lampier?
Yes.
He's doing a great job.
Killing it.
All the robot voices and tails and fonts are really great. I love the echo that he puts around all the different drone voices. And
I really like Brennan's work here on this yellow page. Like it's not just a flat color, there's like some of these brush strokes that really enhance, like he was talking about that in the Shadow episode.
There's a few more of those. There's when the action starts up, there's a few of those where he's doing the
it's beautiful
the Rothko.
Yeah. And that's right. That's what we were calling it. Yeah. And then Rothko. More of it here. Yeah. So cool. All right, so these sentries are coming in, and he's like starting to beat them down, just throwing them, and they're like, "Please proceed as directed. Follow us to the nearest cyber center." He's like, "That's
right. Your implants are not in compliance with communication and wellness protocols.
Right.
So we have to get you vaccinated into you need your microchip." Basically.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They're like, you're not the drone we need you to be."
I wonder how much of the last year influenced the writing of this issue.
I wonder if there's any editorial change, because I remember Matt talking a little bit about there was already some modern day reference that was coming in through all this stuff. So
But COVID changed everything, just like 9/11 changed Dark Knight Strikes Again.
Yeah.
This is God. No, this is much different. I love that book. Do you like that book?
What is
You
it?
like DK2? The Frank
I
Miller
read.
Dark
I
Knight
don't think I
sequel?
finished it. I don't think I was buying it when I was coming out, but I'm not sure I got it all.
I have a well. There's only 3
Three
80-page
kind of like
issues.
mini.
That's
trades,
Bob.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they love that book because it's Bobby's book. But I have it in black and white here.
Oh wow.
It is a different. It's oversized. It's a different book in black and white.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, because it was so insanely colored.
Yeah. Here's Batman's big penis ship. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very experimentally colored. Anyway, enough about that. I love that book.
That would be another insane Batman Grendel crossover as Paladin versus like Dark Knight Batman. Oh my god.
There's money waiting to be made here.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah.
All right. So attention, citizen.
Don't you like money? Jesus.
So Paladin's like, we found a planet that is like, oh my god, look at this robot. And here's where the cover image comes in.
Yeah.
Ba-king. You are in violation of public behavior code 738-52. Just battling. He gets sent.
Yeah. I'm a little confused by the eyeball, but I will allow it.
I think it's digital, and I think it's maybe
It's
to like
digital.
make you feel at home, like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
this thing is a little human.
Have you ever read Sea Guy by Grant Morrison?
I have, yeah.
It's just like a Mickey I. When you live, when you die. There it is, Mickey I.
It's been a while on that one, but I enjoyed it.
That's a great.
There's like a flying dolphin or something. That's his buddy.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's the most. Unlike the context of
wacky.
Grendel, that's the
Yeah.
most fucked up book ever. The real show stealer on this spread is the bottom right.
This guy here.
Yeah, when it's like Brennan does like a color hold with an airbrush.
Oh my gosh, yes.
When he
From like
he sticks his hands into the laser gauntlet or whatever. It looks
so
great.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, and just some vicious action. And the Paladin, I mean, he can take a beating.
Yeah.
And so this huge gauntlet crangs down on him. Nothing. Continues. The fact remains that we finally found a planet that can sustain human life. So they're still saying like this planet could be useful to us as he's battling. He's still
Well, he's feeling great because he's OP, as you
exactly.
guys put it.
Yeah.
But who knows how many of these, there's probably a master mold somewhere
Exactly.
churning these fuckers out.
Right. I love this. I love this panel, like too, where he's got the pipe and it's breaking the panels. It's really coming at you, and he just jumps up and sends it right into the eye. I mean, oh my god, so good.
Yeah. Look at Dave Lampier with when he falls, just getting it right, getting the pipe right in there. It looks,
man,
happy accident, I'm sure.
So good. And who knows, maybe some of these robots here are relaying this action to some off the screen. Maybe there is some sort of intelligence that's monitoring this, but
I wonder if the structure of this series will ever be broken in that there'll be one planet where they spend 2 issues on.
Oh, there has been.
There
I
has
thought
been?
they spent 2 issues on the one that was the little like
The lizard people?
Well, they were like little tribalistic people, and they sunk the Paladin down. I think there was 2 issues on that one.
Something there's water. They fight over water. I don't remember
That's right.
any of it.
Yeah. It was like a desert planet.
Yeah. Is that the one where they do the bio breakdown?
I think so. Yeah. That
Someone
was
in the letter column,
shit.
somebody complimented that, where it's like,
I love
hey,
that stuff.
here's the penis right here. It's coming out of the knees.
They
or
did
something.
do that. Yeah.
Very
All right,
cool.
so then here on the next panel, we're like, all right, y'all, we got to get out of here. This planet is not right. Like, while it could be good, we would be starting in the negative, and we'd have to work for like 1,000 years to even get ourselves to a place where like we can even Earth again. You know?
This was I read this wrap up, and I was like, man, the Gene Roddenberry head in Eli must be exploding, because it's like they said, it's ideal, but instead of having to build up from the mud, we would have to be breaking down and decoding and debugging all of the automated cybernetic security forces in order to survive here. And that would be more trouble than it would be worth to.
Yeah, we're not going to do it.
Because it's like shit, well, they could terraform, they could, build, mud thatches and all that. Everything is here that they need, except for the fact that it's like the
It's
code
a
is too
technological hell.
virusy.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, we can't.
Interesting.
And he's like, I'm bouncing. So he's like, stay off surveillance, and like, they're programmed to monitor pedestrians. So let's find a way off this planet. He goes into the sky because they're not really monitoring. They're only monitoring like street level. So now we still have to find a way off this planet, and we still have to figure out what's going to happen. So we're not out of this mess yet.
Well, I think he says that there's a satellite launching facility,
right? A couple clicks,
3 clicks away. So if you flap your wings on over there, and you'll launch yourself back into orbit.
Yeah. This
All
was
right.
great, man.
I
it's
dug it,
super
yeah.
fun. We got the letter from Matt. We had a nice letters column. I read it, mostly enjoying, everyone enjoying it. Psyched that it's coming back. These are probably all pre-pandemic letters, the break. And then we get this look at these insane covers for next month. Damn, look at this. That's almost like a Frank Frazetta style.
Yeah, who's the artist on that?
It doesn't say actually,
No.
but it says, let's see. I think it says like Thrawn or something. Not Thrawn, but
someone tremendous.
Someone tremendous, yeah.
They both look good.
I agree.
It's got a very Tatooine Dewback kind of.
Oh, exactly,
deal.
yeah. So that
I like how the harness. I like how his harness fits between one of his Stegosaurus spikes.
Oh yeah.
Very
so
cool.
That must mean he's getting off this planet. And this says Troya. It's by Troya, the
right.
painted cover.
There's ads. I don't know on Comixology if they give you ads.
I don't
There's
get
an ad for the James Stokoe book. Did you get this? Orphan and the Five Beasts?
Hell yeah, I did.
I forgot to look for it when I went into the shop yesterday. This looks amazing.
It's really, really good.
Is it going to be multiple issues, do you think?
I think it's 3 issues or something.
3's easy.
I don't know.
I can do 3. That's easy.
Oh, it's so good. James Stokoe, anything he does, I'm down.
Uh-huh.
I was telling you a while about that one book. What's it called? Oh, Wonton Soup. Love that fucking book.
That's his one-man megathology.
Yeah, it's so cool.
I'll have to check that out. I like him. I like him maybe a little bit more than Brandon Graham. It's just like
Rain Like Hammer's killing it right now, though.
Beautiful I believe book. That. I believe that. And then there's also an ad for whatever's new with Black Hammer. Are you a Black Hammer reader?
No, I mean you told me about it. You've
Holy
recommended
shit.
it to me before. Yeah.
Holy shit. The
Maybe
Zappa.
Yeah.
The Zappa is amazing. The Zappa is like Zappa being done by John Lennon or Elton John, in that there's definitely layout Zappa going on, but it's like filtered through like Kirby, where it's very grid centric. And so anytime that they break the grid or get diagonal or do something wacky, it's very it's like very like the layout is so deliberate but very grid centric.
Wow.
Great book.
Awesome. I'm excited. And I'm excited for more Grendel. And next week we're going to get back into the Christine stuff. Are we going to continue covering this as it comes out, or was this just like because we're so psyched that it's like
we'll see how much we've pissed off the original author by burying the lead. I think it was a great change of pace, because I did finish what's this book called? Devil's Legacy.
Yeah.
I did finish it. It is very long. It's the longest of all the arcs.
Yeah, it is
very long. So
yeah.
I think breaking it up was good. And if we can break it up with a few more issues, maybe one or two more issues of Odyssey, that could be good for
awesome.
For me.
And good for the fans. So we're going to cover Odyssey.
And for the fans.
Comments with what you thought of the issue. Hit us up on Instagram. We've been getting a lot of great stuff on Instagram. The Panders actually shouted us out yesterday on their Instagram, which was huge. Super psyched to get to talk with them when we're at the end of the thing. Actually,
thanks for the social media dopamine, Pander brothers.
I picked up this comics interview issue to read more about the Panders. There's a very, very cool interview. This is like a Kamiko issue. So we get We get Bob Schreck and Dinah Schutz too. We get an amazing spread of them, some amazing photos, and then we also get a great stuff from the Panders. I gotta show this one photo of Bob Schreck. It's amazing. It's demonic and crazy. Gosh, where is it? Oh my gosh, this was such a great interview, a great read. I wanna know Bob Schreck now.
The man whose name means terror.
Ah, so cool.
Wait. He's like in. He's in
he
like
had a
Misfits
band.
makeup, and it
He
says
had a
LSD
band.
on his head.
It does say LSD on his head.
Oh
He
my
was in a
God.
band, I
That's
guess
good.
that, yeah. Oh my gosh. Really, really cool to read all about Kamiko. And then there's an interview with Geraldine Pecht and Jerry Giovincio, who was the
Oh, she's the art director. Geraldine
that we
Peck,
read
art
about.
director of
That's right.
Kamiko.
That's right. We read all about her in
Unbelievable.
that one issue. So it's really cool to get into that. I was talking with Diana actually while I was reading it. I was like, it's such a great interview. She was like 23, 24 when that happened. So
Oh wow.
just great stuff. And it's great to learn a little bit more about the Panders. We'll cover all that when we get into their episode.
Emmy Award nominated Pander.
Yeah. So cool.
Cool.
And it's not Jacob Pander, it's Jakob Pander.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yes. Cool.
Wonderful.
All right. So until next week, Vivat Grendel and keep on Grenelin.